In this day and age, I think the audiences are so focused on the realism of what they want, on the lack of artifice. To make this show real and genuine, we really needed to find hard of hearing actors.
It was casting with a challenge, and I kind of like that sort of thing. So it was fun. So it was something I was very interested in, and I wanted to do it.
And she just said, you know, we have to find Daphne. We have to find an amazing Daphne. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. I did sort of panic a little bit, like, oh God, we do have to find Daphne. She does have to lead the show, and it is going to be hard.
We were looking for, again, a character who could be the lead of an ABC Family show, who has a great look, who is a wonderful actress, who has a sense of confidence that the character has, and optimism, and at the same time, had to be hard of hearing.
My name is Katie LeClaire. I get to play the role of Daphne on the show Switched at Birth, and I'm super excited about it. I started to take sign language in high school because I was very bad at Spanish, and I fell in love with the language and the culture that surrounds it. And I was working on a project, and they needed footage of someone getting their hearing tested. So I volunteered because I never had my hearing tested. And I tested, and they said, "Do you realize that you are eligible for hearing aids?" And I was like, "What?" They said, "No, your decibels are so far gone that we could provide you with hearing aids right now." Unfortunately, they're very expensive, so I waited. But I was later diagnosed with Meniere's disease.
So Meniere's disease, it's a debilitating disease that's associated usually with one-sided hearing loss that fluctuates. It's almost like an aura where they get this fullness in their ear and then this roaring. They describe it like a seashell. It's pretty bad, and we don't really have an answer. Some cases, hearing goes to zero. The ear kind of dies, if you will.
So some days I hear pretty well, and some days I hear absolutely nothing. And it's really hard because, I have hearing aids now, which were provided by production for this shoot. And I'm so, so thankful to have them. And sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they don't really do a whole lot for me. So when I ask people to repeat themselves over and over and over, sometimes people get frustrated. But most of the time, people are pretty okay with it. And, the people that I really love know that this is an issue, and they have to look at me when they speak, and they have to, pay attention to make sure that I know how to hear.
We did put a Facebook page out, and it worked beautifully. We got hundreds and hundreds of submissions from all over the world. And actually, that's how I found Sean Birdie. He self-taped, and he was fantastic.
I put my demo reel together with my casting tape and sent it over. And like 3 hours later, they got a call, and they said that they would love to meet me, so if I could fly over, so I did. And the producer seemed to like me. I flew back. A couple of weeks later, found out that I got the role. Very nice.
He is so charismatic. That kid just pops off the screen and has such confidence. The casting breakdown I had written, I wanted deaf James Dean. So I think we found him.
I'm Sean Birdie. I have the role of Emmett. I was born deaf. I was raised in a hearing world and in a deaf world at the same time. I can't say that I like one better than the other. It's just I like them both. I speak pretty well. I gesture. If I don't understand something, pen and paper, texting, I use it all. Based on, I didn't know how I had become deaf. She, based on her history, she had German measles, so we thought we would have hearing kids. When Sean came along, it was about 3 months after, a friend of ours said, your son is deaf. I'm like, really? No. So we tried, using a pot and pan, and we banged it really hard against each other behind his ear. No response. So I was so, I don't know, I was freaked out. I just, I wasn't prepared, that my son would be born deaf. So, I guess a new deaf generation in our family.
I'm not the first person to say it, but directing is 90% casting, because it required good actors with being able to deliver real emotions, and we found some very good actors that were both deaf and hard of hearing to play their roles.